the judgment and the scathing remarks that Judge Siraj Desai had about Henri van Breda?
Well, moments before Henri van Breda was found guilty by Judge Siraj Desai, the judge paused to say that as a family man, he was obviously deeply disturbed by this case, and this case definitely hit home for him, obviously because Henri van Breda was convicted of killing his brother, his mother and his father, and then injuring his sister severely. But during the judgment, Judge Siraj Desai essentially not accepting the defense's version that an attacker or an intruder who was masked attacked the family, and also not accepting that there might have been a second murder weapon being used to attack the family. And Judge Siraj Desai finding many of the defense's witnesses to be unreliable, and also remarking on Henri van Breda's demeanor moments after his family was attacked. He described Henri van Breda as unemotional, often his decisions irrational, given that he had chosen to call his 16-year-old girlfriend rather than call the ambulance for his family. And one last thing that Judge Siraj Desai kept hammering on was that Henri van Breda chose to not spend those last few dying moments with his family as they lay there, obviously taking their last breaths.
Now, Aarti, you've been covering this story for a very long time now. You've been in court pretty much every time Henri van Breda has appeared in court throughout the trial. Talk to us about his demeanor in court. I know one of the things that Judge Siraj Desai also said was that he appeared to not display any empathy in court.
He was unemotional till the very end, Michelle, and even when Judge Siraj Desai found him guilty and read out that verdict, Henri van Breda did not show any emotion. He seemed quite cold and unemotional and in a sedated state of mind. And that theme has been common throughout the trial, even when he took the stand, describing how the attacker hacked his family to death. Henri van Breda showed little emotion on the stand, and there were only 2 instances where he asked for an adjournment to compose himself. But indeed, very little emotion displayed by Henri van Breda on the stand. It'll be interesting to see what he is like now that he's spent almost 2 weeks in Pollsmoor prison in the hospital section. There were weekend reports that Henri van Breda was attacked by other inmates, and his attorney saying that they believe that Henri van Breda was targeted, and this is because this case is such a high-profile case.
Now, Aarti, talk to us about his sister who survived that attack in which his parents and his brother were killed. She was diagnosed as suffering from retrograde amnesia in the aftermath of the attack. What do we know about her whereabouts, her well-being, whether she's had any contact with her brother?
Marli van Breda was initially part of the witness list. She did not testify because of that retrograde amnesia. There has been no contact between Henri van Breda and his sister, and that was obviously made very clear by the court. We also know that the media is not allowed to publish her face, so very little is known about Marli van Breda. Through recent reports, it has come to light that she has finished matric. But other than that, Michelle, the details on Marli van Breda and her whereabouts and also her reaction to this trial, there's very little detail on that.
So today, sentencing procedures set to kick off. Aarti, I know when judgment actually got underway, it appeared to last a lot longer than we had all expected, with Judge Siraj Desai going through all of the various issues surrounding the trial, all of the evidence and testimony that was presented throughout the trial. How do you see today sentencing unfolding?
Well, we were told by the state and the defence before we adjourned that they will be presenting evidence. The state at this point has said to me that they aren't going to call witnesses, but they're definitely going to make statements on the impact that this crime has had on victims, possibly the neighbourhood and the families involved. And the defence says that they want to make a statement on Henri's personal circumstances. And that is particularly important because those personal circumstances is one of the factors that Judge Siraj Desai will have to consider when he's obviously deciding on a sentence for Henri van Breda. And we also expect the defense to bring a witness from NICRO to speak about possible rehabilitation for Henri van Breda. And given the fact that he is quite young, whether there is that chance of rehabilitation for him, and also the fact that he has a medical condition. He's been diagnosed with juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, so his health will definitely play a factor, or is definitely something that the defense will argue in court today.